This is Sarah. Sarah is an independent, successful woman. She has a thriving career as a lawyer and lived in a beautifully decorated apartment. Sarah values her freedom and enjoys making her own decisions without consulting anyone. Her friends admire her confidence and self-reliance. But Sarah was lacking one thing: a man. Sarah did not have a man to call her own. For some reasons, men come into her life, and before you say Jack Robinson, they have vanished into thin air without any explanation. This baffled Sarah. One day, Sarah attended a workplace conference. She felt bored halfway that she could not wait to hear the pronouncement of a break. Just before she could finish adjusting herself, the facilitator said, "We will pause here for a short break." Sarah felt a glimpse of relief, like a child who has just been released from a naughty corner. She immediately headed for the cafeteria. As soon as she got in, her eyes caught the radiance of a young-looking gentleman. His skin was smooth and hair well cut. This man is so cute, she thought to herself as she adjusted her chair to get comfortable. Not long after, she heard a gentle but masculine voice behind her. "Hello, beautiful," she heard from behind, but Sarah, pretending not to pay attention, continued to look at the menu. The soft voice spoke again from behind. "Hello, beautiful lady." This time, Sarah gently flipped her head to look as she gazed in disbelief. It was him. Yes, him. "My name is James and I'm here for the annual barristers conference." Sarah, almost losing her composure, tried hard to hide it. Stretching her hand forward, she muttered, "I am Sarah. I'm also here for the same conference." "Oh, really?" James interjected. "So how are you finding it so far?" "I feel kind of bored, if I'm to be honest," Sarah said. Not long, the two became acquainted. Not only is James handsome, tall, charming, and well-spoken, but he's intelligent and vast in every area. He's able to hold conversation in every aspect, Sarah thought to herself, with a smile she tried hard not to make obvious to James' notice. James, looking at his wristwatch, "Oh, it's almost break over. We need to get going." Sarah stood up from her chair, and before she could realize it, James had paid for their meal. Wow, he's a gentleman too. This got Sarah more fascinated at James. How can one man be all this? James is a full package, and I think he's my Prince Charming, Sarah thought to herself. These two quickly became friends, and the rest of the conference was fun-filled for Sarah. Without any hesitation, Sarah obliged when James asked, "Can I have your number, please?" "Of course." She quickly took his phone and imputed her number. "I like you already," James said. As the days went by, they fell deeply in love and soon appeared like bread and butter. They were always in the company of each other at least twice every week. Sarah could not curtail her joy, as this seemed like her forever man. She felt happier, and this reflected outwardly. "I think it is time I let Anita and Grace know I'm seeing someone now." Immediately, she picked her phone and had a group call with her friends. "Sarah, hey, this one you called us today, I hope all is well," Grace exclaimed. Auntie, I hope you are safe, Anita interrupted. Haba, everything is okay. It's just work. I have been busy lately. Anyway, I met someone. I knew it. I knew it had to be a man keeping you this busy. Anita chipped in with so much excitement. Abeg, give us gist, Grace said, sounding excited. I was thinking we meet at our usual resort for a girls' hangout on Saturday, Sarah said. Perfect, they both exclaimed. They went ahead to catch up with their girly stuff they had missed for a while. James, on the other hand, informed his friend Kester of his intentions to marry Sarah. What makes you sure she's the one? Kester asked. He sighed. There is this way she makes me feel. I just can't explain it, but I can bet she's the one for me. You know I will always support your every good move, man. And getting married is one of them. Sarah appears like a nice person anyway. Have you both taken time to discuss about future plans yet? Kester asked. Not yet, but we will. Thank you for always being there, Kester. What are friends for? Kester replied. Saturday came and the three musketeers, like they fondly call themselves, met. Sarah, you know you owe us gist, Anita said. Yes, I know. But it's not something serious. I met a guy about a month ago. A month? And you kept this away from us, Anita intruded. It's not like that. You see how things have always been in my relationships. They come and they don't last. So I just wanted to be sure, that's all, Sarah said. So are you sure now? Grace asked. Well, he makes me happy. And talking to him gives me butterflies in my stomach. But sometimes I'm scared because of my previous relationships. You don't have to be. Like I always tell you, things will fall into place. And I will always say, you need to see marriage. Just before she could finish, Anita interrupted. Please, I've told you, Grace. Leave this your marriage advice. Because they don't always add up. Please, we need to celebrate this new relationship with a chilled cup of wine and turkey, Anita added. The ladies headed to the counter to make their order. Weeks went by and the bond between these two lovebirds grew even more. One sunny Saturday, James called Sarah on the phone and asked if she was free for dinner that evening. James knew she would be glad to and had planned a big surprise for her. Sarah replied with so much eagerness, yes, in fact, I would love to. I will meet you up in 30 minutes. Sarah quickly dressed up and did not forget to wear her most expensive perfume James got for her. Sarah arrived at the restaurant just in time, and to her surprise, she did not find James. Her eyes gazed round with her neck following suit. To her greatest surprise, she found James kneeling behind her. James popped the question, still on bended knees. Sarah, I never want to let you out of my sight. Will you marry me? With so much excitement, Sarah replied, yes, I will marry you. Sarah in disbelief as James gently inserted the ring on her finger. Sarah's eyes rolled with tears of joy. I love you, James. I just didn't think it was going to be this soon. It's been only 4 months. I'm really in love with you, Sarah. I just can't wait any longer to make you my forever woman. Sarah smiled as she watched James speak so softly to her. The joy was overwhelming for them both that they barely finished the food they ordered. It was already late into the night. but the lovebirds were still wrapped in each other's arms. But then they had to painfully say goodnight to each other. Sarah could not wait to break the news of her engagement to her very close friends, Anita and Grace. They have been friends since like forever. They had inherited this friendship from their parents, so they have become like family. As soon as Sarah got home, she made a conference call as usual with Anita and Grace, and they were extremely excited for Sarah that at last she would join the married gang just like them. Soon after, Sarah and James fixed their wedding date, and according to tradition, the bride has to receive advice from her mother. Now, this was an emotional moment for Sarah, who had lost her mother 2 years prior. She wept uncontrollably, sobbing like a child denied a candy milk. This responsibility was taken up by Sarah's grandmother, who advised her to be a good wife. Sarah's grandmother called her Nne, as this is what she fondly calls her since childhood. Nne, my dear, marriage is beautiful, but it requires work. It is two people from separate worlds coming together to make one new world. And she went on and on until dawn. Amidst all the advices Sarah received, one struck her the most. This was when Mma, as she fondly called her grandmother, told her that the biggest problem of marriage is money, sex, and in-laws. She didn't quite understand what this meant, but she didn't ponder over it for too long, because as far as she's concerned, she's happy getting married to her heartthrob. The next day was the wedding ceremony proper. Sarah was dressed in her bridal regalia, and James was looking stunning. It was a lot of merriment with families and friends. So much joy and happiness was experienced. Then, when it was sunset, everyone began to disperse. Now Sarah and James were left alone to enjoy their big night. The first few weeks were memorable and they both enjoyed life together. Honeymoon was great and it was a lovey-dovey experience for them both. But just before the 3rd month, it seemed like they had become different people. Sarah! James called out in frustration. We need to talk. Why are your clothes all over the place? I have said it times without number that a disorganized environment stresses me out. Sarah, trying so hard to control her anger, replied, Honestly, I don't know why you're complaining. I was looking for a dress. And you had to scatter everywhere? James interrupted with a louder voice. You know what? I'm not cut out for this, Sarah replied, walking away from James. You do not walk out on me, James muttered. James, realizing it was getting into a heated argument, wore his shirt and left the house. Sarah was left confused and unsure why James is making a big deal out of the situation. She immediately reached out to her phone, called Grace and Anita to narrate what had happened. Can't a girl have peace again? Anita exclaimed. I tire, oh, Sarah concurred with Anita's assertion. On this one, Sarah, I know you very well, that you can scatter, but please try and come to a balance between you both. Marriage should bring about positive change. That way there will be peace, Grace chipped in. You don't start again, Abby? Anita quickly interrupted. That somebody is married does not mean they won't have peace of mind. Thank you for sticking with me up to this point. I hope you enjoyed the story. There's more package coming. Please kindly subscribe so that you'll be a part of this community and you'll be my treasure in this community. Please click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be updated once I upload the next video. Please like, share, and comment so that the algorithm will push it out for others to see the story. Thank you, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate being with me. See you next time. Bye.